What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this Wednesday night's fight in Queensland, Australia between Liam Wilson and the Argentinian fighter Ayrton Gimenez. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Also, right now, like this video and go down to the bottom of your screen, find the bell notification button, click that so you never miss a video. All right, guys, if you're in Australia, I say happy Monday, and wherever you are tuning into the channel, I say welcome. We're coming off the back end of another big weekend in boxing, but just like always, as one weekend ends, another week begins. We have a lot of fight cards this week starting in Cairns, Australia. If you guys know or have heard of the Great Barrier Reef, that's where this fight is taking place. On the channel, guys, I want to mention we're also going to be featuring fights in the United States. Deontay Wilder is returning. Zerto Ramirez fighting this week in Anaheim. Plus, Tevin Farmer's taking on Floyd Schofield. There's fights in Canada. So it's a jam-packed week. But right now, we're featuring the co-main event between Liam Wilson, the Aussie, and the Argentine fighter, the one loss, Ayrton Gimenez. So in this video, we're gonna be breaking down both guys' careers. We're gonna talk a little bit about how they go about their business, what they've been up to, and more importantly, what's at stake come Wednesday night. Also, guys, stay tuned to the end of the video because that's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to put your money. Guys, if you don't recognize the name Ayrton Gimenez, I do not blame you. He is far from a household name, but the 130-pound division has a big fight with his name stamped right next to it this Wednesday night. Gimenez is coming off a decision victory. When you look at his resume, his one loss comes to probably the biggest name on his resume. He lost a decision to Michael Magnesi. With Liam Wilson, he has an opportunity to come to Australia, be showcased in a big fight, and also jump the line in terms of what Liam Wilson plans on doing after, in Liam's own words, he gets past Gimenez in his next fight. With Liam Wilson, the Aussies will know who he is. International boxing fans should know the name Liam Wilson. His two biggest fights, unfortunately, didn't go his way. He fought for the world title twice. He got stopped against Oscar Valdez. And in the first opportunity, very controversial when he fought Emmanuel Navarrete. You guys could go back and watch that fight in the fourth round. Liam Wilson had Navarrete hurt, dropped him. You could do your own counts. The referee generally will give a rule of what? A 10 count. It was over a 20-second count. I did a video on this with a clock running side by side from the time Navarrete got dropped until the referee stopped his count. It was 22 plus seconds. That video got taken down, but you guys do your own research. We know what happened after that. Navarrete was allowed to continue and then eventually stopped Liam Wilson in the ninth. So in his two biggest opportunities, he fell short. He's been fighting domestically since he had a couple fights against Yusuf Dib, the little brother of Billy Dib, in which he won via stoppage and a decision. And in my opinion, his best victory was against Jackson England, a fighter from Australia who's actually ranked higher than him in the division on BoxRec. You might recognize Jackson England. He has a victory over former world champion Jamel Herring. So right now, I do want to remind everybody what's at stake this Wednesday night in Cairns. All right, fight fans. No Limit Promotions boss George Rose has confirmed discussions are underway to rectify what has been dubbed one of the greatest robberies in Australian boxing history, and this time with scales that are fair. Speaking with Fox Sports Australia in Cairns, the host city for Wednesday night's latest No Limit on Fox showcase, Rose confirmed his interest in bringing WBO super featherweight king Emmanuel Navarrete down under for a blockbuster rematch with Australian favorite Liam Wilson. For Wilson to position himself again as mandatory for Navarrete, however, he must first win Wednesday night's challenging showdown against tough Argentinian Ayrton Gimenez. Quiz on Wilson risking his longtime dream to become world champion in the Cairns card, Rose replied, "Yes, it's a massive risk, but that's Liam Wilson." And I quote, "This guy has the biggest balls in Australian boxing, and he puts them on the line every time he steps into the ring, end quote. The declaration means Wednesday night's card has the potential to catapult two Aussies into world title fights, with fellow Queenslander Liam Paro also making his hyped No Limit Promotions debut in the headline event against American Jonathan Navarro. Already, Rose has suggested a win for Paro will open the doors to a whole range of huge matches in the US, with the fighter's hit list including the likes of Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, and Pitbull Cruz. For Wilson, meanwhile, it has now been over 2 years since his infamous, incredibly controversial stoppage loss against Navarrete in America, which included both the famed 27-second count and a dramatic accusations of scale tampering. Yet should the fighter dubbed Mr. Damage claim a third win since losing a second title fight against Oscar Valdez in March last year, a push will commence for Navarrete, who must first get through a rematch with Charlie Suarez, which was sanctioned only last week. All right, guys, so a lot at stake at 130 pounds. You got to think the Argentinian's mind is set that he's going to come over relatively as an unknown. We've seen it happen before. The traveling fighter comes over to an international land and upsets the masses. He will have a tough task at hand considering the power that Wilson possesses, the pedigree that he possesses, his trajectory in terms of where he feels his career is going, and his willingness to go through the deep waters to become a world champion. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at the one-loss Argentinian fighter, Ayrton Gimenez. Guys, Gimenez is 22-1 with 4 knockouts. Out of 2,000 fighters at 130 pounds, he's ranked 127. He's fought a total career rounds of 165 and carries into the ring an 18% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as Pac-Man. The 26-year-old Argentinian fighter is an orthodox fighter with a 67-inch reach. He was born and raised in La Plata, Buenos Aires, Argentina. We last saw him fight Alberto Ruiz, 26-11, UD in the 10th. Canchino, 5-1, stopped him in the 7th. Diaz, 8-1, split decision in the 10th. Gachez, 10-3, UD in the 10th. Camejo, 6-1, won via DQ in the 4th. All right, guys, with Ayrton Gimenez, what you're going to find is an orthodox fighter. When you watch his fight tape, you're going to see a guy who has fun in there. He's a mover. He uses the entire ring. He uses his jab to get in, but he also likes to exit the pocket. This is going to be interesting to see, though, how long he gets away with this against Liam Wilson, considering what Liam Wilson's fight style is, what Wilson wants to do, marauding forward, and eventually land that big left hook of Wilson's. Right now, I do want to take a look at the Aussie's record and see what he's been up to. Guys, Liam Wilson is 15-3 with 8 knockouts. Out of 2,000 fighters in the world at 130 pounds, he's ranked number 43. He's fought a total career rounds of 115 and carries into the ring a 53% career knockout to win ratio. The Aussie's a 29-year-old orthodox fighter standing at 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. He was born in Redcliffe, Queensland, Australia, and lives in Caboolture, Queensland, Australia. We last saw him fight Yusuf Dib the second time, 21-2, UD in the 10th. Dib the first time, 21-1, stopped in the 8th. Oscar Valdez, 31-2, he got stopped in the 7th. Jackson John England, 15-2, won a UD in the 10th. Alanis, 12-0, UD in the 10th. And guys, the fight before that was the infamous fight with Emmanuel Navarrete. Like I said, I don't even think it's controversial about how long the referee counted. You could do your own homework. Maybe you watch the fight. Right now in the comments section below, let me know if you think that was controversial. Either way, moving forward, Liam Wilson's game plan, it is not a secret. The kid loves to be in slugfests. He loves to walk his opponents onto that lead hook. He has knockout power. Personally, as a fight fan and a guy who's watched Wilson ever since he turned pro in 2016, I'm interested to see what elements of his game that he's added in terms of fight IQ, decision-making in the pocket, and strategy. When you dissect the film study against Oscar Valdez, what we saw, to his own admission, was a guy who was unwilling to make any adjustments in the fight, even though he was putting his own outcome on the line. He said this. He wanted to engage in the dogfight, he wanted to engage into a firefight, and he eventually got stopped. Sometimes in a fighter's career, what you want to do as a fan of the sport and a fan of the fighter is cheer for them to make these sort of high-level, world-class adjustments. We'll see if that's the case this Wednesday night in Cairns. When I look at both guys side by side, a lot of the physical things, the height, the reach, are going to be the same. Gimenez is a couple years younger. When you look at the world-class experience, whenever you have a fighter like Wilson who shared the ring with multiple world champions and has been so close to becoming a world champion himself, and at only 29 years old, you have to lean on that fighter in terms of having that mental advantage and that ring advantage. We'll see if he brings all that together. I still feel Liam Wilson is seeking a career-defining performance, and considering he's facing an Argentinian fighter, even though he only has 1 loss, he only has 4 knockouts. I feel this matchup is perfect for Wilson to be patient, to box well early, eventually cut the ring off, and catch Gimenez with his big hook. Before I give you guys my prediction, I do want to take a closer look at those Las Vegas odds. Guys, if you're new to the channel, I want to let you know I do live streams every day. In those live streams, we go over the upcoming boxing matches regarding the method of victory, the prop bets, the knockdown prop bets, and we build our parlays throughout the week heading into the weekend. So this prediction will just be my money line prediction. All right, guys, wherever you are in the world, let's pull out our betting apps. My book is called Sportsbet down here in Australia. Currently, Liam Wilson is the favorite at $1.20, meaning you put 100 on him to win, you get your money back plus $20. The draw is 15 to 1. Ayrton Gimenez is $5.30 underdog, meaning 100 on him to just win, you get your money back plus 430. So Gimenez is more than a 4 to 1 underdog at the moment. You figure for him to get the victory, he's gonna have to win a decision. And like I told you earlier, Gimenez does use the ring really well. He's a mover. Stylistically, he wants to jab and exit, jab and move, enter the pocket. He'll have his guard down. And in the film study I've seen when he's exiting left and exiting right, he likes to kind of showboat a bit and have his hands down. What I'm predicting is he better keep those hands up and that guard up, because if Liam Wilson catches on to that, I think it's gonna be an early night for Ayrton Gimenez. What I'm predicting here right now on the money line is Liam to get the job done. I think it's gonna take him a little while to figure out Gimenez based on all the movement Gimenez is gonna bring to the table. And I'm really confident with leaning on the Aussie and getting the victory in this matchup. Guys, this isn't an echo chamber. In the comment section below, let me know. Maybe you see something that I don't see. Is anybody here saying that the Argentinian fighter is gonna upset Wilson? If so, let me know. Or do you think it's gonna be business as usual? Also, guys, stay tuned to the channel. Like I said, I do live streams every day. Be sure to check out my 2 playlists, the fight prediction playlist, where you'll see all of these Stats Don't Lie videos, the uninterrupted edited breakdowns, and then click on podcast, the Johnny Says Daily podcast, to catch my live streams.